All right, now my next guest crowned Rick Santorum king in Iowa. Very influential fellow, and after he did, the Republican won the state, plus 9 others. Now, despite the win, Senator Santorum is behind in the polls, roughly 6 points down in the latest Real Clear Politics average. But that's national. That could change. Bob Vanderplaatz. I remember talking to you, Bob, soon after this. I mean, you really did change the tenor and tone of this election. So much so, I actually thought you were a reverend. You're not.
My mom still thanks you for that.
You're a good man just the same. Now, here's the rap against your candidate, that he can't win. Disavow people of that notion.
Well, you know, a former guest you just had on, Mike Huckabee, they said he couldn't win.
And he didn't.
Well, and I think most people would say he would have been a much better general election candidate than John McCain.
Maybe so, but he didn't, did he?
Right. Ronald.
He has left, right?
I'm trying to give him another
We don't want to. If he's listening, it's
Governor Reagan. They said there's no way he could win, and yet he did win. Rick Santorum, I believe.
Yeah, but Governor Reagan was up against a pathetic challenger, right? I mean, to say nothing against Jimmy Carter, at that point, I think, well, Dion over here could have beaten him, you know?
Well, I think statistically, though, right now, you look at the polls, Santorum's going to do well against Obama, and Santorum's doing well in this primary as well.
Do you think some of these social concerns, I know very important to you, alienate a general population base in a general election? Because what fed the election to Ronald Reagan, the social issues he cared a great deal about, you're right, but the economy was just tail spinning.
No, I don't think so. I think that's spun by the establishment who want to see Romney win. Really what you're looking at, you're trying to hire somebody to be your CEO. And the first test...
he's been a CEO.
But the first test is, do you trust him? And with conservatives, not just social conservatives, but authentic conservatives, they have a trust gap with Romney.
Newt Gingrich thinks he's the real, true conservative. You think Newt should go?
And I think, I think if Newt would have dropped out of the race, Newt and I are very good friends. Santorum would have put Michigan in the win column. He would have put Ohio in the win column. He would have beat Romney clearly in Alabama and Mississippi.
That's assuming that all of his votes go to Santorum.
Well, but even if some of them went, I mean, Michigan and Ohio were extremely close. And the narrative would be very different today.
So let's say he goes out now, though. Do you think it's too late for him to do that?
Well, I think it's not too late for the voters in Illinois and the other states to make up their mind that Rick Santorum is the clear alternative to Mitt Romney. And what we said back in Iowa, Neil, remains true today. Mitt Romney does not want a one-on-one. And the more the conservatives divide up the vote, the better it is for Mitt Romney.
But what did you see, and this was fascinating, because a lot of people think, oh, well, everyone's glomming on to Santorum now because he's got some mojo. Well, you were the guy who provided the mojo. I remember you backed him when no one did. When I was up in Iowa moderating among the moderators for the Fox debate. I always say among because, you know, Brett Baer and Megan say, well, we were there too, Neil. Anyway.
But you were a star.
Yeah, I kept telling them that. They're so envious. But one of the things I noticed at the time was that no one paid attention to him. No one. But you did. Yeah. Knowing and reading the polls as you did. Now are you worried, you stood out then, that everyone is kind of catching the fever and it might boomerang on it?
I was at that debate, and the guy I was sitting next to was...
Who did the best job of the moderator?
You did a great job.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Unless I'm on Megan's show or Brett's show. Then,
very good, very good. So clearly you're not a reverend. That's all right.
But the guy sitting next to me was a Romney supporter. He leaned over to me and said, why isn't Santorum catching on? He goes, I really like Santorum. And I said, you wait and see. Santorum kind of got a perfect storm. He worked Iowa awfully hard, and he put in a lot of the groundwork. We came in and endorsed him, maybe at the right time. Newt was collapsing. We wanted to see another person rise. Santorum did. But it's not just him winning Iowa now. Now the rest of the country is saying, not only can he beat Romney, but I really believe that they see him being the shot to beat Obama.
You think he can win his home state, Pennsylvania?
I think he will win his home state, Pennsylvania. And I think
if he doesn't, is that bad?
Well, sure, it's bad. I mean, everybody wants to win their home state, but...
the last fairing he had didn't go well there.
Well, here's the deal. That was 2006. That was a bad year for a lot of D.C. Republicans.
Right.
Well, what's really bad is when Romney can barely squeak out a victory in his home state of Michigan. I think Santorum will do much better in Pennsylvania, and I think he'll make...
You would support whoever the Republican nominee is, right?
I would support getting rid of Barack Obama. I want to support Rick Santorum.
That's not what I asked.
I know what you asked.
So you're so clearly not a reverend, but you're kidding. But you're saying that regardless of any of those four candidates is a better choice than the president?
I really believe so.
Okay. Bob, thank you very much. Very good seeing you.
Thank you.
Bob Vanderplatz. And remember, he did this when he wasn't glomming on to anything. That was very interesting.